2 years. CAL to cut salaries and a third of its staff. And in news overseas, the first of 3 debates between presidential candidates in the United States goes off tonight. And now the details. Police Commissioner Gary Griffith is proceeding on vacation leave for the first time since being appointed to the position 2 years ago. Mr. Griffith will proceed on leave in October and will visit his son, who plays professional football in Ireland. Earlier this month, in a media briefing while addressing the Police Service Commission, his first appraisal of him, Mr. Griffith said he was awaiting the first opportunity to take his vacation. The Police Service's Communications Manager, Francis Joseph, has debunked rumors that Mr. Griffith was sent on administrative leave, as was suggested by reports circulating on social media. In the report, Mr. Griffith supposedly was sent on leave by the Police Complaints Authority. However, the PCA has no jurisdiction over the commissioner, only the PSC. In recent weeks, Mr. Griffith has come under some fire for his reaction to the Prime Minister in his defense of private parties, and more recently, the handling of the investigation into the alleged impropriety by a Defense Force member in charge of what he called a pyramid scheme. Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police, MacDonald Jacob, who is currently on vacation, will assume duties as acting commissioner on Friday when he resumes duty. A release from the Caribbean Airlines CAL this morning indicated that the airline is set to send home 1/3 of its staff for the next 3 months. CAL has expressed struggles to cope with the financial fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. Airline officials said it also would cut the salaries of those who are paid more than $7,500 per month for 8 months, starting in mid-October. The layoffs are said to be decided on the role and current needs of the business. Although the country's borders remain closed, the airline is still operational for domestic flights between Trinidad and Tobago, cargo operations, the Kingston and Barbados-based commercial service, and special repatriation flights from around the world. In other news, an unidentified man was shot dead this morning by a 84-year-old homeowner. Police were told that the suspect was attempting to steal the retired game warden's van at his home in Tableland. The retiree, who is the holder of a licensed firearm, was awoken by his son, who told him that people were in the garage of the family's home. Upon investigation, he observed 2 strange men with their faces covered in the garage. The engine of the van was running on, the vehicle was idling. One of the men pointed a gun at the elderly man after he ordered the men to exit the property. At that point, he said he feared for his life and shot the armed man. The other suspect fled the scene. Tableland police were notified and found the deceased on the ground of the garage. When they responded, his loaded firearm and tools, which police believe were used to break into the home, were found next to him. Finally, in news outside of Trinidad and Tobago, the first of 3 debates for U.S. presidential candidates, Republican Donald Trump and Democrat Representative Joe Biden, will take place tonight at the Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. Both men will square off from 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the event, which is expected to run for approximately 90 minutes. The 2 subsequent debates are carded for October 15th and 22nd before the U.S. public goes to the polls on November 3rd. That was a look at your news to 4 p.m. on the street, 919 FM, courtesy TN Tech, the power to make it work. Recapping the headlines. The Commissioner of Police is proceeding on vacation leave for the first time in 2 years. Caribbean Airlines to cut salaries and a third of its staff. And in news overseas, the first of 3 debates between presidential candidates in the United States goes off tonight. Our next major newscast comes up at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I am Jason Shields. Do have a good afternoon.
Well, I hear they say the country in recession, but thank God, salvation free. And even though we in a tight situation, Jesus came for you and for me. Some of them say tighten your belt, problem from government, but Jesus don't want me about that in revelation. And even though panic all over the nation, I just wanna get up and dance in my salvation.
That's the voice of Jaranus.
My rock, my rock, my rock, my rock, my Jesus is my rock, and I just cannot stop dancing.
And you know he's on Iwer stage come Wednesday. Tomorrow is Worship Wednesdays on the Street 909 FM.
So I will stand for the rock and rock and rock and rock and rock of life.
Don't forget to tune in as we're going to be streaming it live on the Street 909 Facebook page.
Stand for the rock and rock and drink
Neil Iwer George Facebook page. Iwer George on IG. Iwer TV and the Street 919 FM on YouTube. Support the local artists.
And why should I
send those contributions to account number 1999010 in the name of Trinity Bank Limited at any 366 Bank.
Keep on reminding me that the earth
if you're international, use Cash App and make it payable to Neil Iwer George.
I'm a Jesus Christ fanatic, and when problems come, he has some really is.
And let's get the show on the road.
My rock, my Jesus is my rock, and I just cannot stop dancing. He is my cup, my cup, my cup, my cup, my Jesus fill it up, and I just cannot stop drinking. So I will stand on the rock and rock and rock and rock on the rock of life. cup, from the cup, from the cup, and drink from the cup of life. I make us stand on the rock and walk, and drink from the cup non stop. I will not suffer. I will not beg for food. I will not suffer. I will not beg for food. No, he is my dad.
When I went up Panorama, the stage was good. I come back for the march, now the stage was good. Even for kiddies carnival, the stage was nice. A paradise.
It was a paradise.
But when I come back on Carnival Day, and I hear the big truck start to play, tell them when me and my section touch the trouble. Because the stage not good again. The stage not good again. The stage not good again. After we trample for the stage, tell them the stage not good again. Cause we come to mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. We come to mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. Come now we mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. We come to mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. Make a mass on the stage, jump and throw your rag in the face. Jump and make a mass on the stage, jump and throw your rag in
If you're going through nostalgia like me,
the stage.
I know right now you're feeling sick.
Could the stage be good when we behave not so bad? On the
How to comprehend No Carnival 2021 is beyond me.
the stage gone bad. Look at how we behaving bad. Look at how we behaving bad. Look at how we behaving bad. The stage gone bad. Call the contractor, call the mashup doctor, call the inspector, call the commissioner, call the minister, and call the fire brigade. Because the stage not good again. The stage not good again. The stage not good again. When we dismantle protest stage, tell them the stage not good again. Cause we come to mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. We come to mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. Come now we mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. We come to mash it up, shell it down and turn it over. Make a mass on the stage, jump and throw your rag in the face. Jump and make a mass on the stage, jump and throw your rag in the face. Now the people asking, how could the stage? How could the stage? How could the stage be good when we behave so bad? We get to
All right, the lines are open. Let's see who's there. Caller, you live.
Madman here.
Hey, madman, what going on?
I already told you that I only seen for the Gemal shop now here. Because the Christmas coming up there, I want to know where you all making for the Christmas for me now. Because we love the Christmas and we hot on it. You know, I find it's a good opportunity for TNT to see Brothers Carnival and it, right? We could have packaged something and sell it on DVD, some kind of video, some kind of flash drive. All these years gone by, you understand? And make some dollars for the artists suffering too. Everybody has to live, you know. I find me using new common sense at all, you know. We could have make some dollars, I want this Kaisu monarchy. The whole world for Carnival has shot me every damn thing. Package it and sell it to the world. It's a good opportunity to sell TNT dogs there.
Well said. I am with you on that one, madman. We definitely have to find a way to package what we have and present it to the world. Yeah, because like I say, we kind of saying, okay, it's 1 year, it might be back in 2022. But that's not a guarantee neither. This pandemic may well be around for a good 3 years. Caller, you live.
I just want to ask a question. People suffering outside to come home and they can't get to come home because border closed, right? All I want to know is if they open the border for the motorball cockroach to go to Ireland to visit his son.
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Maybe there is provisions made in national security for security officials, maybe, Yeah, but I seriously do not know and cannot see what the situation is. I just have to hope that our nationals will be allowed home soon.
Aisha, listen to Kingsley. But local election and the constituencies that you call, Point Fortin, Arima, Theo Martin, which one you feel you could win?
Listen, Aisha, I hear some talk artists this morning. And the way how they talk that the government they care about them and how they go eat and everybody want them to do a free show and virtual show and so I come to the conclusion some of them think some of them is not in it for the art or some of them is for the money. And because you can't make no money next year, you decide you're not in no virtual show. You can't do no free show. That ain't paying your bills. And so some of them getting on.
Let's see who's there. Caller, you live.
Sorry, Aisha, I'm not no more.
Sure.
For the previous caller, before the one and now call,
Right.
tell them, remember, the National Security Minister said anybody who wants to leave Trinidad and Tobago could leave. Anybody.
I guess so.
Once you want to leave Trinidad and Tobago, it's not an issue. To leave is not an issue. It's coming.
But where you getting the flight to go? That's my thought, because flights aren't coming. You're going to have to go to another island to catch a flight. Like, let's just say I want to go to the UK. Do I have to get a flight from Trinidad to Grenada or Barbados and then leave from Barbados to the UK?
In one of the press conferences, these was questions that arose.
Right.
And he explained. He said, who want to leave could leave.
Yeah, but there's
Just
not
you
there's
leaving
no
at your own
flights
extent.
leaving. I don't think that there are any flights leaving.
You would be surprised once you are willing to pay.
Okay.
Anything happening once you're willing to pay, no?
Oh, I see.
So once you listen to the press conference, you know all you could leave and know all you could come.
Interesting.
Okay, now come on.
Thank you.
Like a bite of shilling, only vibes I bring in. I wanna rock and sway like Cambole, so I come in.
Caller, you live.
Yeah, good afternoon, Aisha.
Good afternoon.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm talking about what what's his name, Tabakito is talking about, you know?
Yes.
Yes. No, Aisha, I remember when the UNC was in opposition and the PNM came out with CPEP. The blasphemy talk about all kind of these PNM, they only painting stone and CPEP painting stone and all kind of things. Remember that? Huh? Aisha?
Yes, I'm here.
Right. Remember they was talking about that? How you see CPEP painting stone and they say all kind of thing about CPEP. Now, the UNC get in office. You know, you never hear Mr. Tabakit call and say to change CPEP to what you call it, some agriculture business, some agriculture pep. Why Mr. Tabakit, who say he's a UNC supporter and a strong UNC supporter too, why he wasn't advising Kamala then? Why you only want to come and talk now? We have people to advise the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister have the advisors. The Prime Minister will not advise some Mr. Horsley. Huh? Why Horsley so... It's a word I want to use. Why so... He want to advise Kamala. Or you want Kamala the same in command. All of that had this kind of likeness. Advise Kamala. Right? Why you want to advise Mr. Rowley? You know all the time you're calling? They say all kind of thing about CPEP. What are you saying now? Man, look, Mr. Horsley, Mr. Tabakito, wherever he is, Mr. whoever. And the next thing is,
I see something on Facebook, what it was, where they're talking about this man who getting $10,000 to call it the radio program on them, and he always crying and thing on the radio program. That is true?
Mister, I was threatened yesterday for asking about that. I was threatened with a lawsuit for asking such questions, so I reserve my comments. As you know, my money is to invest in DSS. Me not have a cent to give nobody else. Yeah?
You know, I don't think nothing, putting nothing past nobody. Right? These fellas and them singing desperate. It come like a where this man sing the Coco sing. He sung like one of them fellas and them for the money doing anything. Oh, it's on good lick bottom. That is them fellas and them. So them could continue. You have a blessed evening and stay strong.
Thank you. International line, caller, you live?
Aisha?
Yes.
So why you think I left? Stuart Young say who want to go could go.
Yeah, but but you are a citizen of the U.S. Don't you have a green card?
No.
Oh, so you just pick up yourself and just left?
Yes. All of them is just a waste of time, Aisha.
So I thought, hold on, 1 minute. And you left on a flight organized by the U.S. Embassy, didn't you?
Aisha, let us not go there.
No, well, I need to know how you leave because I want to go.
I left.
I want to go, but I just need to know how. But what difference is this? But I swear you had a green card. The way how you phoned me and tell me you was leaving and this and that, and you sent me the number that you would be in when you leave, and I say, okay, well, maybe you are your green card, you are your things, your book, you are your book, so you could go. But me, you know, you just pick up your whole self and leave the people place just so no green card. So how did you get on the flight? Because the repatriation flights are for citizens only. So how you leave, ma'am? You pay a little, you grease a palm or? The lines are open. Let's take a few more.
This is a fair to remember. Once you could wine, you could enter.
Hi, good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon, Miss Aisha.
Good afternoon.
Getting carnival for next year will be a technical problem with the National Carnival Commission, including the steel band, the masqueraders, the Calypsonians. It could happen virtually, you know, but it takes a real planning so that it will be able to go to the 100 and something nations, so that some, let me say, if it's the TV station to pick up the commission for distribution to these nations of the carnival, it will take an immense planning by the National Carnival Commission and all the bodies represented by the commission. And I hear Mr. Tabaki talking about agriculture and food stuff. Aisha, right now, if you're going to the grocery with your money, you know what to buy. If you was rushing, you know, because 4 for 20, 5 for 20, 3 for 20, everything is 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. So I don't know about this thing about food stuff going up or no. I think food stuff have been going down right now. And it shows by most of the groceries having some kind of thing at $20 for most of your things they're buying right now. And agriculture, the doctor done say he putting 500 million into agriculture, Mr. Tabaki. Right? And that will surface for this year. 5 by 5 is 2.5 billion. Thank you very much, Aisha.
All right, let's see who's there. Caller, you live.
Good afternoon.
Hey, how are you?
I want to ask you a pertinent question. what qualifies and who can make it? Who? Tell me.
Tabakit, you're sounding very muffled. You there? You're not there. Call me back, Tabakit. Position yourself properly and call back. Call you live.
Aisha,
Yes.
I like to tell you your program will be madness, sadness, and gladness.
You're seeing
Aisha.
one after the next, you know.
I am a friend for the evening.
He must be making a next pie now.
And the food page, and that's my boy, Aisha. I love him for so,
I know that your boy, I know.
What I am at all, it's time he calling. What you say, he making another pie?
I feel so. Why me in here from him?
I'm telling you, and the food. Yes, sir, because what board billboard or whatever board are you being here today? What, like, they throw him out or what? I would really like to know. Anderson, good afternoon to you. Aisha, you reach home safe, sweetheart?
I will, Mommy. Have a blessed day.
Bye. All right, you.
Hi, good afternoon. You're live.
Aisha,
Yes.
remember I told you how Satmaraj, the former Prime Minister, they promised Satmaraj 4 schools. He got 2 out of the 4. The Ramai school is 1 out of those. That is why I have Dr. Rowley in a crow for what he did. But I will tell you about it. I'll leave it there for now.
All right, you leave it right there. Don't move.
And if you can't wine to separate a partner, the spirit of freedom take over. So when you hear the music surrender, just have to walk in the center.
Hi, caller, you're live.
You getting me properly?
Yes, I'm getting you. I'm getting you, Tabakit. Tabakit? You there? All right, you're not ready. Not sure what's going on with you or your phone. Good afternoon, you're live.
Hello, Aisha. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
I would like to make a little, to say what Mr. Tabaki said about the CPEP workers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would happen now if no one is to cut the grass at the side of the roads and so on and to upkeep the place and keep it beautiful? If he wants to, the government will place them elsewhere. I believe he might bring in some cows to graze on the grass.
Okay.
I believe so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me say, so far on my promotion, on my wall, yeah, Amida Haynes is leading with the most emojis under her post. Remember, the grand prize is a bottle of Moet. So far, Amida Haynes is in the lead. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You hear me proper now?
Yes.
Right. You see, I believe the callers missed the boat. And when I say FAMPEP, now let's look at something. You have the city corporation, you have borough corporation, and all these workers. And what they do, they come back and duplicate the same work. I am not saying remove CPEP. I'm saying Kiarani have mass acreage of land. You're looking at your foreign in terms of import bill. It is ridiculous. So if you same workers and you create a cottage industry model, what they will do, they will build the economy. They will also get back something, but also they will be self-sustainable. You understand what I'm saying? So in that sense, it's not about Tabaki, whether he with Kamla or who shouldn't give advice. I am a citizen of this country. I pay taxes. And after election, the government is open to one and all to give an advice. But let me say this, I'll put on my hat now. This is the difference with a UNC real activist who bring ideas. And I'm sorry to say it, because instead of you all calling the radio to pound tabaki? Why not come with some solution to say, well, okay, your minister listening, the prime minister listening. He could say, you know what, those actors bring me proud, you know, but not that. Tabaki. Come with something. Do not be bankrupt with ideas. As a critical thinker, what you want to do is to help the government, help the economy. Farm tech is a creative idea. I sure Senator will love that. Because what you want to do, now if you have mass acreage, which is unutilized, and you could take some of the workers, I'm not saying to move all, let's have lots of gangs, you say, okay, we pick it up perhaps into zone, so if those who in south, we're going to plant hot peppers, we're going to plant cucumbers, and we will look at things that which we import. We would now say, via the cottage industry, we would utilize that. So people, this is not about tabaki. When any one of them who dare call me and calling me out, I challenge them to call back and tell tabaki and the country in terms of our import bill, food, call back and tell me we spend every month in terms of bringing food into the country. And if we have FAMPEP, how that will take away that further burden on the Treasury. So it's a good idea. Don't mind if it's coming from Turkey, but what we're looking at, how we could diverse the economy in terms of agriculture. So people, FAMPEP is good, and understand me, that cottage industry model. I'll tell you something, sister, before I go. A shrimp have no head. Tabak it out and off.
Good afternoon. Miss Wells, good evening. Tabak keep talking about African going back to the plantation, you know. That's what he's studying there, you know. That's what he promoting there in smart, you know. Careful of that man and his sarcastic behavior.
Hi, caller, you're live.
Good afternoon, Aisha.
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad. Listen, let me just say one thing, right? 90% of the reason for our food imports is not grown here. We're looking at, we might package a lot of stuff, but nothing originates in Trinidad because we don't have any industry for that. We never did. The only thing we used to grow here is sugar. And then the cost of making it was more than the cost of selling it, so they paid us to stop. And if it is we try some of the other things, we'll have to fight very hard to try to control that. We have the same issue with chicken, where they could import chicken a lot cheaper than we can raise it here. So those are some of the issues we have. Now, it might be an all right idea, a good idea to produce food that we can use, but it might not help reduce the bill because what people importing and eating, not making here. So that therein lies the conundrum. We have to also change our palettes to adapt to our situation. And there is the hardest thing to do because we have gotten accustomed to ham, lamb, and jam. So we have to find a way to break out of that so we can start to survive on what it is we can produce ourselves. Because we don't grow rice here. At least not for human consumption. We don't have a agricultural sector to produce potatoes. We might grow sweet potatoes, but not in the quantum that we have to import potatoes. So yes, and those are some of the staples that we use. So that is the problem that we have to be fighting, and we need to find a way to fix that. And maybe they have a lot of the things that we cannot grow because of our climate. So all those things, that's why we have to change our palette. And once it is we can do that, we all like God. You all have a nice day.
So let me sing about love.
Miss Wells, you how disrespectful that man is? He balling shim don't have no head. Who you talking to and balling shim don't have no head? That's what I'm telling you all about. All they study them fellas and them. It's back in the slavery, the plantation, they're looking to pull it back in the fields to plant for them people. That's what's going on with the Demorius, whoever he name.
Good
afternoon, your line.
Yes, sorry, Aisha. Aisha, he said about challenging. He always challenge him. Well, here what, man. I gave him a good advice. So he could really advise and make a better contribution to the country. Tell him to tell Kamala them to bring back the money where they take and invest it into agriculture. And tell him to advise she to bring back the money and put it into agriculture. That's what you have to do. Tell the UNC people to do that. That is the advice you should advise. And who you should advise is Kamala and them. Have a good evening.
Remember, tomorrow's Worship Wednesdays on Iwer stage. Jara Nurse is going to be here. Don't forget to tune in, all right? Caller, you're live.
Aisha, good evening.
How you doing, Mr. Mover?
Aisha, well, you know, I'm positive, prosperous, passionate, wishing everybody the best, wishing that we could contribute positivity. Our people need it. I thank the DSS for the movements. I was so vexed when the person on the team tried to steal the money. You are well paid, and you always hear my boring voice giving you the proper advice. And good advice is always boring. You save your money and you invest your money. Make sure you're cheap and tight and focused. And you don't have to touch nobody's money. You keep investing your money. And for the people in Mova, where we have the terrible water situation, always remember my voice is tell you early, yes. One of the most powerful things in life is your money and your water. And I said, everybody, when you're organizing with your water, for each family, the least tanks you have is 2,000 gallon tanks. Water will never be 100%. We have to give you good advice. Good advice, boring, bacchanal exciting. And let me swing to the good advice because it's time we lift our people out of poverty, backwardness, illiteracy, and dotishness. We have to help our own, and we have to advise us. We say the least tanks for family, 2 tanks, everybody in the house put up money and help yourself. Complaints will not help us. We must bring our money together financially, make ourselves financially strong, and help ourselves to brace for the bad time. The good times last short. The bad times last long. And to everybody building, investing, organizing, making sure the people are getting good advice and helping one another. Families that coming together, don't only one alone to do it. Unity comes when you are financially strong and psychologically settling. And to the water problem, make sure if you had made a mistake and did not prepare yourself and stop depending on government. After election, you have to help yourself. And those who would like to marry or who would love the girl next door, make sure you demand, make sure we are spiritually well-grounded, financially very strong, psychologically settling, and sociologically well-placed. We must not go out hungry man and say, I love you, I love you. If you're hungry, remain a virgin until you can afford. Because remember, love is always spelled M-O-N-E-Y. And it's pronounced responsibility. You are a man. And we always say men need to boost. Everybody know that. But we always say make sure you have your money first. Don't got no hungry man. Thank you.
Thank you, Mova. Let's go back to some voice notes.
Sorry for your boy. No, them can't come up with a solution. Remember, half of them is just sycophants. Them not critical thinkers. Them have no solution. Them is followers. Them is sheep. Most of them is sheep. They can't come. But all they know to do is attack, attack, attack. and say who's UNC and who like Kamala and this and that and that and that. They have no ideas, nothing. Wherever Rowley and Colin member come up with, they will say yes, it's good. Even though it's going to make them suffer. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a wasting time. These people are not critical thinkers. You're asking for solutions from people who is cheap. They custom following. You tell them to think, you know. That's hard for some of them. They can't think.
Heavy, you're hitting hard, boy. Brother, I had to link here. I'll link in you before the week is out, heavy duty. Always locked on and listening. Let's see who's there. Caller, you live.
Hi, good afternoon, Aisha.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing? Critical thinking has heavy to call things. Agriculture is the way forward. Our caller said that we don't plant rice for the rice there for not for consumption. That is not true. There's an African guy in Moruga that is planting his rice. He doesn't have enough rice to supply the country. There are other people supplying rice. We just not producing enough. We have to produce. There is the money to produce and then to export. Somebody says that going back in land is that putting us back into the field. Some of the richest people in this country do agriculture and people don't recognize that. They just want to look guilty and look stupid, but they have plenty of money. A country that cannot feed itself cannot survive. So we have to know, as Louis Farrakhan would say, decide how much bread we need and how much, or I just use it vaguely here, how much rice we need to plant so that we don't have to import that any money to go somewhere. How much sweet potato we need, how much gas we need, we could do it. We just find that we should only be doctors and lawyers and not work for ourselves. But agriculture is a profitable and a way forward. Thank you.
Let's see who's there. Caller, you live.
Hi, Aisha. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Very, very good. Now, you see, I have a problem when people still in that circle. And good evening, good afternoon, Heavy. One of the problems that you have to get rid of is your question of where you think that the system is spoiling people. Because there are people who are growing in the system. And I keep telling you for years that if you don't change your approach in dealing with the system, you don't have a perfect system. But it's not designed in a way that people cannot grow. And if you're not seeing growth, something wrong with what you're reading. The other thing, Aisha, the gentleman spoke of the guy, and I keep telling people, I'm in touch, not totally, with the whole question of African people, some African people involved in farming. The guy who deals with the rice in Moruga, real organized people. And really and truly, it's very difficult. Aisha, you ever heard about Creole rice?
No, I haven't. I can't say I have.
Right. One of these days, I'll bring up a little thing for you.
Thank you. I would love that.
It's very expensive. It's almost $35 a pound for it.
Okay.
Right. And it's more around the Christmas time that all the rice sells out. An African fella, cool African people. So we're in the circle, you know. My problem is he would do business with Indians, Africans, everybody. So you don't come across as African. You just do business quietly. And that's what I'm trying to tell African people. You can grow, but stop comparing yourself with the Syrians and this. You know what Answer McCall declared? There's 6-point-something billion. And we had $22 million with a guy who we really want organized and fix himself. And we talk about the Syrians and the Chinese. Is something wrong with us with respect to growing? We always getting somebody to blame, somebody to keep us back. Amidst the growth and the challenges that you would get out there, it's people who would really affect your growth. You have to overcome that challenge and get there. Chinese overcome it. Syrians overcome it and they get there. So the whole question of complaining and the government are doing this, you could wait there for years and people and government, Aisha, the market is out there. The market is out there to import stuff, everything. Your credit card, everything, the importation of all these sort of things. Other companies doing it, you can do it. And you could do it well and make a profit and stop complaining about the Syrians and the Chinese and everything else. Just get there and just get in a circle. I would just want to, and Heavy, I want to compliment the guys and they from the region, they talking high risk. Those areas have been quiet and nice, and whoever is doing it, be the commissioner, be the elders, I am grateful that I'm not seeing my African fellas, and I thought you to say that, on the papers with no blood and bullet to the head and all kind of things. Let them go there, deal with agriculture, deal with what is coming to them, and grow your community where people could come and operate by your business, whatever you operate as business, and deal with it like all the other races. And I'm grateful for that. Look for that. Stop looking for Dr. Rowley as a savior. And people tell me defending the government. Not that, Aisha, there's enough ingredients out there for us to hinge on. Be the Netco, be the dot. Get out there and get it. And stop complaining about the Syrians and the Chinese. Take care well. All the best. I'll get
All the best to you. Thank you.
Aisha, good day. Aisha, have you never no critical thinkers? If Heavy was a good thinker, he'd never go and waste his money and deposit to go and say you're going to proceed for the ILP. ILP never even a seat in this country. Jack Warner is a clown at the same politics. And Heavy want to talk about people. Anything Rowley do, Heavy and them so will criticize it and they have no ideas. He had no ideas. Because he had ideas, he had never go and vote. Go and put himself to go for people to vote for him for ILP in Mova. He's a madman. In Mova, you try to go up for ILP. Man, Heavy go so now, go down south and live a Caroni.
But you ain't easy. You're coming for Heavy boy. Caller, you alive?
Tabakit back.
Yes, Tabakit.
I want to congratulate Rowley Jr. this evening for standing out. And I'll tell you what. You see, we have to live the standard. This is not about Tabakit. If we're talking to reduce the import bill on food, and I don't want to sound like if I'm repeating myself, but I'm saying I want to congratulate Rowley Jr. for stepping and going to the head of the class, because this is critical. And our import bill is ridiculous when it comes to food. And Aisha, let me tell you, in Tabakit, there is a place they call Tabak. I think you know where it is. The amount of Africans is doing farming there. We have Moruga, we have Tortuga in Gordon Village, and in Sisters Road, at Bargain. I could go on and on. Libon, all there. Libon is in Karatal, Gatsolo. You have lots of African people. As a matter of fact, Dr. David Mohammed, from time to time, he's going to tell you we have to go back to the land. It's not to do with slavery or anything like that. So people get with the program. Tabakit is not on the politics. I am sorry for you all. If you all have no brain to think, this is not an attack, but I'm saying we have a budget which will be read on the 5th of October. Every citizen is entitled to share their opinion, how they want to see the country go forward. And to me, farming, agriculture is the way forward to reduce that import bill, because it's billions every year. Tabakit out and out.
Rowley Jr., once again, I understand what you're saying, my brother, but you're living in a dream world, you're living in a fantasy. There's no equal opportunity. There's no market for the black entrepreneur. You have to make your own market. Understand what I'm saying? There are forces out there to keep you in your circle. If you're doing business and you have a small business and you want to expand and you're trying to have, all right, let me say, let's have a girl on the back road selling wings and fries. She sell out every day. She's trying to expand. She go to the bank to get a loan, right? Bank ain't giving she no loan just so to do no branches all over the Trinidad and Tobago where she can franchise she think and make money. You understand what I'm saying? Even if she want to do that, she had to go to somebody who have finance to help she to do that. But the system itself have nothing in place for her. And if she try to go to the right road, is who you know, who you link up with. We know it have people that will go in the bank, and just because of the name, they don't have to bring all what the bank does ask for, and they're getting $2-3 million just so because the name so. You have to understand there's a level of nepotism in the whole system, right? Nobody blaming the government, but the government need to open doors so people like us so we to get in. That's why we keep talking about the Chinese and the Syrian, because they are privileged. The system unfair, and I don't know why you keep coming on the radio and keep making it sound like everything just lay out for you, and you could just go and get things done with your business and you go get through. No, There's a small crack with some African people that get through, but you know that is because they know somebody or somebody link them up. You understand how Trinidad works? Are you living in some Guam or somewhere?
Interesting indeed. So we just have about 2 more minutes left of the program. I can probably take one more call before we make our way out of here. Yeah, let me hear what you guys are saying.
Welcome to the ghetto where them buy enough stress. Them walk around now with them fake bulletproof vests. The thing they Teflonless, so when a gunman strike,
my countdown is on.
One more casket, one more candle, one more.
So Trinidad and Tobago, this is where I leave it for today. I'm going to be back with you tomorrow as we continue to bring it real on the Street 919 FM. Yours truly, Aisha Wells, saying have a good one.
Me wish that some of them will get sense, get our education and stop live low. Cause nobody wants to be this.
Listen what me tell you, we need more love in the ghetto. Sing some positive tune and send them ghetto youth. Living in a conman town. We don't need no God. Talk to them, boy. Pam, brother. Jesus will provide. Jesus will provide. Hey, this is Jaranus, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your nephew, whoever you feel to call me, your son, whoever you feel to call me. Right, the original Jesus Youth, and it's all about this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Right, the 30th of September. We're going on live on Facebook. You're looking for Neil Iwer George Facebook, Iwer TV on YouTube, Iwer George Instagram, and it's all about lifting up the name of Jesus. Look in, log on, tune in, click, subscribe. Oh gosh, just the way I have to do it.
Streaming live on Instagram at Iwer George, Facebook Neil Iwer George, and YouTube Iwer TV. It's Iwer Stage.
Everybody just trust me, I'm gonna make it one day. Come and live this life and it practical. To survive the street, man, I fit tactical. Say the right. Yo, you don't know it's Lady Lava, Queen of the Freaks, and I will be live on Iwer Stage 1-on-1 from 8 p.m. So people, that's the 4th of October, right? And it's streaming live on Iwer George YouTube, Iwer George Instagram, Iwer George Facebook. It will also be streaming live from my page, right? So be sure to catch me, and I don't know. If you beat it, keep it a secret. Lady Lava, Queen of the Freaks. Boom!
Streaming live on Instagram at Iwer George, Facebook Neil Iwer George, and YouTube Iwer TV. It's Iwer Stage.
Never in office are going to file me an injunction on public service. But every time a heavy rain fall by me.
Bacana lady parang bacana. Now one man with a pan with some sand in his hand was driving a panel van. Went in a stand, park up the van, then walk in a parang van. So a man from the stand see the man from the van with the pan and sand in his hand. Take away the sand from the man with the pan and throw it on a parang man on the shovel. This is Trinidad Radio. Catch me live on 1-on-1 Iwer Stage, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram on Friday the 2nd of October from 7 p.m. Trinidad Radio.
Streaming live on Instagram at Iwer George, Facebook Neil Iwer George, and YouTube Iwer TV. It's Iwer Stage.